Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. I'm putting out this video tonight because I am shocked to see that Rod Blanchard, Gypsy Rose's dad, finally spoke out on social media. He's speaking out in support of Christy, most definitely, but Gypsy as well. He's letting everyone know that he hasn't left the house, that he loves his children and his wife. And he also speaks out extensively, talking with another TikTok creator, defending his family, but also saying, like, look, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. So has Gypsy, so has everyone in my family, but I still love my family, and I still want them to have a shot at being whole and at supporting Gypsy in the best way that we can. Now, this TikTok creator is not letting Rod get away with anything. She fights back in a pretty, really, I feel kind of bad for Rod about how he got a lot of his past choices brought up and handed to him right in front of his face. But I will give him credit that he's basically like, you're right. I have made a lot of really hard mistakes. He may be one of the only people in the Blanchard family who is willing to say that. So let's take a listen. For whatever reason, it's really hard to hear Rod in this video, so you will have to read the subtitles.
A big fight at our house between Christy and Gypsy. Also, that I left Christy, been staying in a hotel for a week. So none of that stuff is true. I'm home, I've been home. I've never left Christy. I don't intend to leave her. I love her, I think she's great. She's been supportive of Gypsy from day one. Throughout. And, you know, after Katrina, they were relocated, so we didn't know where they were. Christy spent months online reaching out to people, seeing if they knew anything about them, and she finally did find them. So in a lot of cases, Christy's done more than I have regarding Gypsy's support and her well-being. So yeah, she's made some mistakes. I have made plenty big mistakes. We all have, I believe. You know, even Gypsy, you know, she's still making mistakes. Nobody expects any of us to be perfect, but you know, we're trying to build a family again now, and hopefully progress from here and learn from our mistakes. So just wanted to get that out there. Gypsy's here now. Her kid's doing fine. I think she's still pregnant, pretty sure. Also, about the rumors about her and Ken, you know, just want to throw a joke in there. I don't think Ken would touch Christy with a 10-foot pole. Hi, Gypsy. Good morning. Clean your room. Love you. Anyway, so yeah, all good at the Blanchard. We're on point. Later.
I get it, and there's going to be people that's going to support her, and we thank y'all for the support. If she does have support, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to have haters. I know it. Y'all do y'all
Just
thing.
be careful, because her history of mistakes get really bad. So you got to be careful. What's to say she's not going to make that mistake again?
I don't think she's going to be in a situation where she has to even consider harming anybody in any way. I'm just saying, like, to what extent do we let the bad mistakes, you know what I mean, pile up? That was my point. Yeah, I get it. You know, I don't know. I made some pretty bad mistakes, and I pulled myself out the hole. I'm still digging myself out the hole, I guess. But you know, I have good times. I have a family. I got kids that love me. My mom loves me. Everybody, you know, respects me to some extent. So we're hoping we can break the mold with Gypsy and just what she's come up from, and just, you know, recreate her to somebody that can make good, beautiful, sound decisions on her own, and just trying to do the best we can with that.
God bless.
All right, well, I hear that.
All right, well, I'm going to play my guitar. Y'all
All right, you go
Have a good evening, Rod. It was nice talking to you.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I get it, and there's going to be people that's going to support her.
One guy's in prison because he was manipulated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at it like it was just 8.5 years. I look at it like it was 33 years. You know,
Okay.
so I think.
Okay, that's how you see it, but not for the crime. For the crime, it was 8.5 years she served for the crime.
Yep.
No, not her victimization, but the crime. And then you have to understand, wasn't Nick also a victim of her? She manipulated him around 2 years. So it's not like Dee Dee was doing this and then she just snapped one day. She took in another person and plotted and planned it and groomed him to do it. So do you understand why the people, the public, are sitting there looking at you all like it's disgusting? You're all profiting off of one guy's in prison because he was manipulated for 2 years, and then she murdered somebody and sat for 8.5 years, and then is out trying to act like I'm this great person, influencing the young all over social media. Do you see where the public's concerned? Still making the money.
And you know, Ron, how can you even say that there wasn't any acting in this? I mean, we have a video of her at Disney, you know, eating royal mashed potatoes, and literally 6 days later, she's on a video with Nick dressed up like Ruby, you know, talking about God knows what. You know, she was able to go from sick Gypsy to not sick Gypsy within hours. So she absolutely was putting on an act for, you know, the public and somebody else behind closed doors. That's concerning when you can be those two completely separate. You know, in 1 minute she's in a wheelchair and she's a Disney princess eating mashed potatoes, and that night
someone is dead, someone is gone, and someone will never come out of prison. Like, so for us to sit there and watch it all acting like we're some fancy, famous people, but 2 lives and more than that were affected and lost that day. And why should you guys get to celebrate? Why should she be out there celebrating like this and acting a fool with no humility and just acting like when she did this to people? Ultimately, she was the key card player. Do you understand? So you're like, why is the public picking on me? Get yourself out of the limelight. You want to have a quiet family life? Stop collecting money on the death of Dee Dee. Even if she did abuse Gypsy, you're all wrong. You're wrong for it. And the public doesn't appreciate it.
I'm curious what he has to say. I mean, how do you explain that, Rod, all of this? Do you understand?
I understand what y'all are saying. I understand it looks bad.
It is bad. It does not look bad. It is bad.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
Even if she was a victim of much by proxy, even if she was a victim, it is still not right for your family to be collecting off the death of Dee Dee Blanchard and the imprisonment of Nick Godejohn.
And the continual manipulation. I mean, we watched it on Lifetime for the past 5 months. I mean, you know, we watched her manipulate your family, Ryan. I mean, just, you know, it's crazy that it seems like she has not gotten any better. She is a master manipulator and a sociopath at best. You can sit back and watch this happen, and you seem like a really nice guy. And trust me, our hearts all go out to you. I think you are caught up in a mess that you don't know how to get yourself out of.
Can I say something on Christy's behalf, though? And I've said this, and anybody who watches my lives or videos know I've said this. So when you look at Mia, I don't see Dylan. I don't mention him just because he keeps private, and I will respect that. But when you see Mia on the show and you see her on, you know, she doesn't profit off of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And so you kind of feel bad for her. You just all need to stop collecting money, stop collecting a payday on somebody's life imprisonment and death. It just makes you all look horrible. And then you all get upset when people talk about you. Well, people don't like you because of it. I'm going to be honest, and I'm not trying to be rude.
I only get upset when people are saying things that are untrue, in my opinion, that I know for sure is not true. Just like somebody said a while ago, Gypsy has a parole hearing. She doesn't. Okay? So, look.
And that's fine. But if you don't want people to say things that aren't true, again, take your family out of the spotlight. Take them away from the camera.
He's lying about the
money off of, no matter what. Dee Dee was the mother of your daughter. I mean, at one time you had to have cared about this woman, and your whole family is profiting off of her death, and a death that was committed by your daughter, who manipulated a kid that probably couldn't hardly barely tie his own shoes. And here, you know, she flips around with Kim Kardashian and walking the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I mean, it's disgusting.
And then I'll give credit Mia and Dylan well, and I've said that, and everybody here who's on here has heard me say that. The problem is, Christy wants to not look bad, but she just looks like she just wants the most benefit, and she just looks like a vindictive stepmother. You guys need to get out of the spotlight. You don't, and that may not be true. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm just saying that she needs to understand that from the public's view, that's what she makes herself look like. So this is doing you no benefit other than financial gain. And if you want to keep, you know, people are not going to stop talking about it. It's just what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mia was raised properly. Gypsy was not. I believe she was. I think she has a story to tell. I think she still has support. I think she is progressive.
I was with you up until there. And again, I'm with Nancy. I believe that, you know, she wasn't parented right, and there was manipulation to Gypsy on the state park. But no, it's not because she has a story. Right?
Now is the time where you could be that
you
parent.
could do for Gypsy if you loved your family. Is take them out of the spotlight. It looks like you don't care about. Christy doesn't care about Gypsy. Look what she did to her between the marriage and that's what we're saying. And we like you even less. And then we're going to continue talking. And then you're all getting upset. So again, take yourself out for a little bit, get her therapy, and then let her speak about her story. But we don't see a story. We see TV trash, and you're just getting money off of someone's death, and it looks horrible. Okay? And if you really cared how you look, then you would see that.
That's not how everyone sees it.
Oh, that's how the majority see it.
Well,
you're right.
Don't you see it that way, Rod?
She doesn't talk about her sickness or her victimization on the show. She's talking about men. Where in there is she helping anybody? Yeah. Where? I'm going to teach you how to go from a husband to a baby daddy real quick. Where is she advocating for anybody or showing a victim story in that? Come on. She's trying to catch her husband, pulling an Amber Heard, trying to catch her husband so she can look like a victim again. Where is she in there telling her story? What story?
Not once, never.
Never. Did you expect her to come out and be perfect? Not making any
I expect her to come out, get some therapy, and don't complain when you're going to act like trash on TV, and then complain when people talk about you. She should be coming out. You want to talk about your story? Then make the show about her story, not about her trashy love life that she can't handle.
Yep, right?
Nobody knows what her story's going to be.
Whole season, and then what's her story? You're right. So how can you say it's because she has a story and people are watching her? Because she has a story. She hasn't said anything about a story.
You say she wasn't raised right. Maybe
But
this
they're
is
just
the time
trying
your
to make fun
fans.
of her trashy image, not because she has a story to tell. Now, if she actually,
That's disgusting.
and I'm gonna need you to hold on seriously. That you need to get her help. If that her life is the fact that she can't hold a marriage and that Christy's helping her get out of the marriage to have a baby daddy, like you understand that's what people see.